it's not just the message that Donald Trump is delivering to the political elites, the political establishment, and our institutions. It's the way in which he's delivering that message. He says, listen, when it comes to Donald Trump, he speaks a lot of folks' language. They don't care as much about the message. They care about how he's delivering the message because he delivers it in a way that they want to deliver it to Capitol Hill. So we've talked about this before in different contexts, right? So in this case, it's the harsh message to the political elites, but it's also the simple common man way that he communicates.
Well, we're back on the Young Turks today, and Anna apparently agrees with what Stephen A. Smith said. He's a commentator about how Trump speaks in a way which speaks to ordinary people. And yeah, it seems like it's taken liberals, leftists, progressives, libtards, whatever you want to call them, Redditors, without being rude. I mean, has it really taken this many years to figure that out? Of course, that's why people like Trump. Yeah, he's crass and rude and orange and has wacky hair and all that, but he speaks in a way which gets through to ordinary people. It seems like the intelligentsia of America, the progressives who think that they are somehow in a rarefied ruling class of some sort, who think they think they're not low information voters, they're not deplorables, but somehow they can't see this simple truth. It's amazing. It's like one of those memes where the idiotic caveman at the low end of the IQ and a super genius at the other end, in effect, both agree on the same thing. And it's only the midwits in the middle who, take the progressive view. It's exactly like that. Yes, of course that's what it is. And of course, Donald Trump's delivery is bombastic, over the top, flamboyant, rude, downright rude sometimes, incendiary. He just gets it. I don't think he tries to be like that. He just gets it. He knows what gets through. Over-exaggerated, etc., etc. Okay, let's see if the geniuses at the Young Turks can do some more of this insightful analysis.
And I do think that resonates with some voters. Now, who does Stephen A. Smith think will actually ultimately win the election? Well, he's very clear. He says, I still believe it's going to be Kamala Harris that's going to win this election. Wallace asks, really? And he says, I really do. I think she's going to win this election because I think that when you take away the fringes, folks on the fringe, on the extreme right and left, and you get to the center, I think ultimately people are going to look at her, regardless of what they're saying about her, they're going to look at her and say, you can work with her. And finally, he says, and the way of the streets of America were when he departed. Okay, so he's basically talking about look, people don't want to go back to what they experienced, especially in the final year of Donald Trump. You have the coronavirus pandemic, you have all of this chaos, you have all of this instability. People aren't going to want to go back to that. So he believes that ultimately people will get out the vote for Kamala Harris.
Yeah, and of course, January 6th. He said 2020, but he was referring to the last days of Trump as well. And so people don't want to go back to that madness where if the guy loses, he says, destroy democracy, bring in the fake electors, show them how strong you are at the Capitol, etc. All that madness. God, isn't it going to be an incredible relief when this Trump guy's finally out of our lives? Oh my God, the guy's such a clown that even
the guy's such a clown. Excuse me, who's the clown here? The big brown buffalo is just can't get Trump out of his head. And I love his impression of Trump. Very, very, really spot on there, Cenk. He just lives rent-free in his head. The chaos that was on the streets. Oh, the madness of having Trump in the White House. Yeah, I think the madness was the constant daily attacks, slanders, libels coming from Trump's enemies. Now, of course, politics is a contact sport. Whoever's in power is going to get a lot of criticism, and their enemies are going to try to take them down, no doubt. But frankly, when Trump was in office, I think we can all agree that it was just insane, the daily attacks every day, 24/7.
even if he gets clowned this time and loses, maybe he's not out of our lives. Maybe he'll try again. And maybe MAGA is so insane that they'll nominate him again. I don't know.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that what you just said is very common among Democrats, right? They think that the real problem is Donald Trump, and once he's gone, everything will be okay again. But it's not just Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a symptom, okay? The Republican voters favor Trump. It's the Republican voters who have, he didn't even have to participate in the primary debates. So they're going to look for a future candidate who is like Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's 100% right. It's just that it's hard to replicate the mania of Trump.
That's true.
Right, in both in terms of the way he speaks to people and animates them, and so in order to get that kind of energy, so that's a downside for the Republicans that he'll be hard to replace in that way. But also the mania of just almost psychological terrorism, where he's such a loose cannon. You don't know what the hell he's going to do on any given day. Every day you wake up, did he launch? Is his button bigger than North Korea's? Is he going to launch there? Is he going to cause a war in the Middle East? Is he going to wreck the economy? Is he going to nuke a hurricane? What the hell is he going to do, right? Because he's so mentally unstable. So Josh Hawley or JD Vance or Vivek Ramaswamy might be faux populist, right? And they might lead in the wrong direction, but it's hard for them to replicate that same kind of mania that Trump has that is so unnerving.
I can agree with you on that for sure.
Yeah.
For a second there, I was going to say, well, both Ana and Cenk make a good point. Ana said, quite rightly, I think, that Trump is a symptom. He's not the problem itself. If you're an anti-Trumper, okay. He is the symptom of a problem, absolutely. Whether or not you think he's a solution to the problem is something else, but he's absolutely a symptom to the malaise that has gripped America, I think, for a long time, but it's just come to the fore. It really came to the fore in 2016 when Trump, or 2015, 2016 when he was running, and then when he took office. Yes, I agree 100%. And then Cenk said, what did he say now? But whatever it was he said something which made a bit of sense. And then, of course, he just lost his mind. And yeah, Trump, the classic projection thing. Yeah, we just don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to start more wars in the Middle East? What? Excuse me? He didn't start any wars in the Middle East. All that was done much before Trump. And Trump, compared to all recent presidents before him, was absolutely a president of peace in that sense. What else did Cenk say? More of that projection, chaos, finger on the nuclear button. What? This is just all projection madness, Trump says something that comes from the heart or from the id or whatever you want to call it, and the liberals and progressives just melt down. They just cannot take it. So, as usual, as Ana still seems to be on her breakout phase from the complete and utter libtard bubble. She is talking, she seems to be talking and thinking clearly. Obviously I'm never going to agree with everything she says, but she's talking, she's saying things reasonable. It sounds like you can have a reasonable conversation with her. Cenk, on the other hand, just when I thought I could, no, he just shows his true colors. Nothing's going to change with him, I don't think. Too late. Anyway, let me know what you think. Maybe you don't agree with what I'm saying here. If so, feel free to, agree or disagree in the comments below. And while you're at it, please like the video, subscribe if you like this kind of content. It really helps out the channel and it helps me to continue making more of it.